Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Thursday, February 9th, 2017. I want to give you one more piece of evidence of how Super Bowl 51 was scripted with the Patriots' record 25-point comeback, coming back from down 28-3. Record comeback in the Super Bowl. If you missed my videos 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, I was explaining why 25 was so significant to this Super Bowl and why the Patriots would most likely win it. For those who aren't aware, this was the 97th season of the NFL. 97 is the 25th prime number. And if the AFC were to win the Super Bowl, which the Patriots play in, the Patriots in the AFC, the Falcons in the NFC, if the AFC were to win with the Patriots winning the Super Bowl, it'd be the 25th Super Bowl win all time for the AFC on 2/5, the date, kind of like 25. And also, it would be Tom Brady's 25th playoff win ever. if you missed the Tom Brady storyline after the game, they said it was his 51st comeback drive ever to win Super Bowl 51. And also, it was the Patriots' 51st playoff game all time. It was also the Falcons' 51st season. The head referee was number 51. We're about to talk about Lady Gaga and how her birthday foreshadowed what the outcome of the game would be and even the comeback score. And if you missed my video on The Simpsons, we'll recover that. Anyway, Lady Gaga was the halftime entertainment for the Super Bowl. Her birthday, March 28th. 28/3 or 3/28, kind of like the score, 3-28. And for anyone who would call coincidence, understand that earlier this year, it was October 11th, 2016, I uploaded the video. On that day, I uploaded a video about this Simpsons episode right here and what it had to do with Super Bowl 51 and the Patriots likely being in it. It was season 28, episode 3, that came out October 9th, 2016, which was Tom Brady's first came back from his Deflate Gate suspension. That episode came out the same night that Tom Brady played in Cleveland, winning his first game back. Bill Belichick got his 227th career win. He started his coaching career in Cleveland. Anyway, Simpsons season 28, episode 3, 28-3, 28-3 comeback. This episode, it came out 119 days before the Super Bowl. 119, very special number. Notice the name Bonkowski. This is the character name for Rob Gronkowski in the cartoon. Bonkowski in Gematria sums to 119, just like Springfield, where the Simpsons are set. 119, very special number we talk about often. 119 days from this episode to the Super Bowl. And notice the number 98 over here. That's no coincidence either. In Gematria, Tom Brady equals 98. The only other QB that does is Eli Manning, the kryptonite for Tom Brady. Interesting that next year will be the 98th season of the NFL. But anyway, 28-3, Lady Gaga's birthday, March 28th, also the year 86, and approaching 31, which we'll get to. In Gematria, Lady Gaga sums to 31, just like Houston. The Patriots, in their comeback, scored 31 unanswered points against the 31-year-old Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan in Gematria sums to 31, I should mention. From the date of the Super Bowl, February 5th, to Lady Gaga's upcoming 31st birthday, 51 days. Again, Houston hosted the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 51. Houston Texans equals 51. So 51 days after the Super Bowl is Lady Gaga's 31st birthday. You see this? Oh, boy. As for her being born in 86, Deflate Gate, something I've talked about many times, equals 86, like symbol, like triangle, like pyramid. Got a lot of Deflate Gate headlines when that story was big, with 86 coded front and center. Tom Brady, at the end of the Deflate Gate season, or related season, it's been going on now, wins the Super Bowl. And again, The Simpsons, season 28, episode 3. I've been explaining to people, professional sports are scripted like theater. If you read the clues correctly, you can guess the narrative. And you know what? For all the people who want to hate on my Giants and Colts pick, remember, that pick came from a year ago. That began February 2016. I made the bet in March. Week 1, when week 1 rolled around, I told everyone, you know what? I could be wrong. There's some major clues here that the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick equals 97 season, plus so many other things. I told people right away, it might be the Patriots after all. I pointed out along the way, 2 years ago, two seasons earlier when the Patriots won Super Bowl 49, the Colts were getting all this coding, and the Patriots went on to beat them in the AFC Championship, which was Deflate Gate. And I'm thinking about how this season, the Colts had a lot of coding, and the Patriots went on to win again. These teams have some backdoor relationship, Patriots and Colts. I have a feeling they're going to have a big playoff match next season on the way to the Super Bowl in Minnesota. And right now, with what my research is showing me, I think Tom Brady might become 6-2 in that Super Bowl, or if not that one, the one after. We still got a year or two left of Tom Brady. But anyway, Lady Gaga. Back to Lady Gaga. You see this performance she had? She had drones in it. And I thought, how weird they're using drones. Just think about all the drone symbolism we've seen in society. We've seen drones bombing people in wars. We've heard about drones spying on people, collecting information. We've seen city police departments in the United States in the last half a decade buy their own drones. Who knows what they're doing with them? Now in a Super Bowl, drones being used as a part of the entertainment, part of the symbolism. And when I saw this, it made me think of the movie Oblivion. And I want to talk about the movie Oblivion. Real quick, I just want to point out that drones has gematria of 39. Huge number on this Super Bowl. Remember, Tom Brady was 39 years old. Just before the game, we saw 39-year-old Paul Pierce, number 34, play his last game in Boston. The weekend before, we saw in the WWE Royal Rumble, we saw John Cena, whose name equals 34, who's from Massachusetts, the Boston area, defeat a man who claims Atlanta is his city. John Cena, also 39 years old, name gematria of 34 like the winning score of the Patriots. I showed how his full name, John Anthony Felix Cena, equals 97 like the 97th season of the NFL. But anyway, Super Bowl 51 had a lot of 39 symbolism on it. NRG, the name of the stadium, equals 39. Construction began March 9th, plus so much more. LI, the Roman numerals for the Super Bowl, break down to 39. So interesting that drones has gematria of 39. In the film Oblivion, which came April 19th, 2013, in that film, there's a scene where Tom Cruise, who repairs drones, he's standing in the middle of a broken football stadium that's supposed to be in New York. And in the movie, he says that's where the last Super Bowl was ever played. And they show the year 2017. So in that film, they say 2017, the last year of a Super Bowl. It's got this reference to a drone in a stadium, And then lo and behold, here in the Super Bowl for 2017, we get drones. And here's what's so interesting. The film title Oblivion, I've been pointing this out for more than a year. Oblivion in gematria sums to 44. Just like how the date of the Super Bowl had 44 numerology. And I thought that was interesting. 2017 Super Bowl, film title, key moment in the movie. The drone is number 166. What's really strange is September 11th equals 166. And this past NFL season, the first Sunday was September 11th, week 1. And the Atlanta Falcons, who lost in the Super Bowl, their head coach, Dan Quinn, his birthday is September 11th. What else is interesting is 911, the emergency dialing code. The alt dialing code for 911 is 112. Houston, in simple English gematria, equals 112. So anyway, 166, reference to 2017, the 2017 Super Bowl, ends with a drone performance, or at the midway point it did. This 166 number, though, just so interesting. Twin Towers equals 166. Think about that in regards to September 11th. Tetragrammaton. The White House, Donald Trump, began his presidential campaign June 16th. One World Order, 166. Annuit Coeptus on the dollar bill. Secret Society. New York nuked could be coincidental, but it's interesting that that's what this movie hints at happened. Like there was nuclear warfare, the world was mostly wiped out, people are gone, they're a memory. There's some people that are now doing jobs such as maintaining drones that surveillance the planet. Have no fear, true seeker. Just understand this symbolism, this ongoing narrative. You know, it's like at the same time it's trying to clue us into our reality while mocking us, by the numbers. And one last thing that I just caught, NASA on February 5th, 2017, 4 days before the Super Bowl, uploaded this video of these astronauts. You can watch this video on NASA's website. They're doing backflips here in the football jerseys. But what I was thinking is, how in the world do these astronauts know to bring football jerseys with number 51s on them for Super Bowl 51 and for the right teams to be in Super Bowl 51? So I thought, maybe they just got up there. Did they just arrive at the space station? So I looked up their names, and you can verify all this. I'm not trying to mislead you here. This is exactly what it is. The man, his last name is Kimbrough. Supposedly he got on the International Space Station on October 19th, 10/19/1019, lose the 0, 119. Just talking about 119, all-seeing eye. September 11th, 11/9. Peter Tosh, born October 19th, dead September 11th, by the numbers. Anyway, October 19th, 2016 is the day he got up there. So pretty early in the NFL season, he knew to bring his 51 Falcons jersey with him. And this other woman says she got up here November 19th, 1119, okay. And she knew to bring with her, and she's Expedition 5051. Maybe that's why she brought number 51. But she knew to bring her 51 Patriots jersey. And I'm just thinking, what in the world? If you read about what it supposedly costs to send these astronauts and how much they have to pay per pound to ship them up to space, supposedly the fees are astronomical. So, I mean, those jerseys you're looking at cost out of taxpayer dollars, according to what NASA tells us, about $30,000 to bring up just to space. So you're looking at about a $60,000 in cost display based on what NASA tells us. Did they bring other numbers? Maybe they had other jerseys. I don't know. But let me just show off the Gematrinator calculator real quick. Just to show you something else about 51 and outer space and Freemasonry and what's going on in the world. Gematrinator calculator, running slow. So this is a really cool calculator that was just built. So grateful for this. Thank you, Derek. When you come on, it loads up all these methods, and there's more methods to use here, and there's more that's interesting. But when I began this study, all I knew about were these two methods right here. And then along the way, I learned about how S could be worth 1 or 10. Anyway, let me just show you how this works real quick. If you write out outer space, it sums to 42. Think about space, or not Space Odyssey. What's that movie called? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And the joke about 42. Outer space, 42, with the S exception, 51. Also 123. NASA was established by Freemasons. They say everyone to have traveled to space is a Freemason. Notice, Freemasonry, Freemason, 42, 51, 96. The word conspiracy also shares similar gematria. And the way this is working, in case you're wondering, we'll just start with the ordinal because this is the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Just going A1, B2, C3, D4 up to Z, the 26th letter. O's the 15th letter, N's the 14th. You see how this works? S is the 19th. So that's what ordinal is. All of these methods are based on the alphabetic order, and reduced, the difference is this. C is still 3 because it's a single digit letter. The point is to make each letter a single digit number. O's the 15th letter. 1 plus 5 becomes 6. That's why O is 6. N's the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 is 5. S is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. S is the only letter you have to add together twice. You can make S worth 10, and then that's why conspiracy is 51 with S1 and 60 with S10, because you're adding 9 more. So anyway, Truth Seeker, what I also want to say at the end of this video is I'm getting a lot of people who are messaging me and saying, this work is awesome and I love it and I appreciate it so much, but I'm trying to tell my friends and family and they're calling me crazy. And people are expressing essentially that their friends are their feelings are getting hurt. And, is it even worth being a truth seeker? Is it even worth spreading the knowledge? And, this just happened to me before I made this video. This video would already be uploaded. My sister happened to call me this morning, and I haven't talked to her since Christmas Day. I was with her when I got the news Christmas Eve that my home had been ran into by a drunk driver, which was a 4-hour drive from where I was. And anyway, so I had to leave our family plans that night. It was the last time I saw her. We got along fine while we were down there. But anyway, she just called me up to say if I was done doing this research yet, if I had proven that this was a waste of my time. And I said to her, well, why? I said, no, that's not what's going on right now. I said, I'm almost finished with my book. I'm excited about getting that out. The radio show's going well. And I got the website up. Somebody just built it. And then she just cut me off and she said, Zach, don't you just know you're wasting your time? What are you talking about? And I said, how am I wasting my time? She goes, you should know you wasted your time. You went down to Las Vegas and bet on the wrong football teams this year. And I said, yeah, that's true, Jen, but when you bet, you can be wrong. And she said, so that's proof that your work is wrong. And I said, wait a minute. I said, that's not proof my work's wrong. I've been showing people 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, even before that, why it looks like the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl this year. As soon as the Giants got eliminated, I put out a video on saying why the Patriots should win the Super Bowl. So what was that, 4 weeks before the Super Bowl? And I just kept showing people why. And I showed specifically why it was all about the number 25. And the Patriots had a record come back from 25. So I said that to my sister, but I couldn't get it in because she kept interrupting me. And you know what she kept saying to me? She kept saying, you sound mentally ill. She just kept cutting me off and saying I sounded mentally ill for trying to explain to her how this decoding system works and how even though I was wrong when I bet in March, nearly a full year before the Super Bowl, how I'd practically figured it out by week 1. I told everybody in week 1 a lot lined up for the Patriots that I overlooked, and they very well would likely end up being your Super Bowl champions. Wasn't hard to see, the Patriots, Tom Brady, they're the face of the league. I overlooked a major clue at the beginning of the year, but I caught it before they even played in week 1. I said that before they even won their first game. I told everybody they'd beat the Cardinals that night. So anyway, I was just trying to explain to my sister, having gone this back and forth, trying to explain to her the relevance of my work, all that I've shown this year, and she just kept dismissing it and saying it was all coincidence. So, I know exactly what it's like, people, to have somebody belittle you and say it's coincidence and say you sound mentally ill. My sister said, and while I was trying to explain my points, several times that I needed to be on medication and I needed a therapist. And all I'm doing is just explaining things that are completely logical. And, the truth is, my sister and I, this sounds mean, we're half, right? And I'm more fortunate than her in a way because she's older than me by more than a decade. She grew up in a single-parent household with my mother. And, she never got to know her dad. I got to know my father, And my father, pretty sharp guy with certain things, such as numbers. So, I got the blessing of numbers from him. He's always been good with numbers, even though he's not into this study either because he loves sports so much and doesn't want to know that they're rigged. He's cognitive dissonance, but a different thing. But anyway, my sister's not good with numbers, My sister, her claim to fame is being a beautiful woman who's never had to do anything in her life because men have always been attracted to her, So anyway, as she was putting me down and calling me mentally ill, I tried to stand up for myself and say, you know what, Jen, I don't mean to be mean, but I've always been a lot more intelligent than you. As soon as she cut me down, I said back to her, I said, it's unfortunate you didn't get to know your father, but I got a father that gave me a sharp mind, good with numbers, something you've never been. And you're calling me mentally ill for something you don't understand. So what I'm saying, True Seeker, is, I know how it is. These situations put you in fights. Next thing you know, you're saying something that's probably hurting somebody, but, they're saying something hurtful. People don't want the truth in this world. They want to live in ignorance. My sister, she was screaming at me that I'm just wasting my time. And I said, Jen, I'm not wasting my time. I'm exposing what's going on in this world and people need to know. And I tried to remind her that on September 11, 2001, she was calling me, telling me I needed to go to a gas mask and an oxygen supply and water. And she was freaking out on September 11th. And I wasn't freaking out that day. I even told her then, she's a lot older than me, so she's always been like my mom. She was saying, that I was wrong and the terrorists were out there and I needed to be safe. And I said, no, Jen, this is your own government. It's so obvious. They're trying to scare you. Chill out. That's just the difference between me and my sister. She's never seen the truth, but, she's always felt more entitled and arrogant about her opinion and dismissive of mine. Just like everyone is. She calls me conspiracy theorist, mentally ill, take your meds. This is what's programmed in the American people. And it's just so unfortunate because, as most of us know who are awake, we're the more intelligent half, My sister, she's not dumb, but in terms of our overall intelligence between the two of us, it's no contest. So, you guys just got to make your own decisions. I know what it's like. People don't want to know the truth. It can tear your friends and family apart. I honestly told my sister on the phone that, I don't need her as family. I said she hasn't been anything to me in my adult life. She's just put me down and criticized me for everything. I'm trying to do something nice. I'm excited about what's going on in my life, and she wants to call me mentally ill. She said I need to be institutionalized. It's like, what's wrong here? I'm taking care of myself. I'm paying the bills. I'm putting out knowledge. What's so wrong with what I'm doing? Understand my sister also. Here's a true story about me. When I was younger, my first year and a half out of college, I worked in real estate. And I was exploiting the corrupt real estate market, and I was getting paid more money than I could have ever imagined at that age. A bad week was $2,000. I was clearing a lot of money working in this real estate hustle, taking advantage of a messed up system. And when I was doing that, I felt guilt. I knew that I was doing this because it was paying me so much, not because it was right. So there just became a day where I just said, I can't do this anymore, and I just quit. I just got tired of being corrupt and pushing through fraudulent real estate deals. And I just said, I need to do something that makes me feel like I have some worth in the world, like I'm giving something back and I'm not just living for dollars. So I gave up a job where I was literally making over 6 figures a year as a young man. And I was smart. I saved my money. I didn't blow it. I saved it. I ended up paying for a master's degree, a house. But anyway, the way I saw it was blood money. And I needed to do something right. So I quit my real estate job. I went and worked in a group home. And then pretty soon I went back to school so I could get my master's in education and teach. I decided I wanted to teach and help out children. When I did that, my sister and my mom and just everyone was just hating on me. They were like, who does this? Who gives up money to go work in a group home for $10 an hour? What are you doing? What kind of life choices are these? What kind of future do you want? That's what everyone was saying around me because they were all looking at it from just my perspective, like giving me what my own selfish perspective should be. That I should just be worrying about numero uno and, investing in my future and making as much money as I can while I can. And I just thought, I want to do something that makes me feel like I'm doing something important in the world. I'm sorry, truth seekers. I didn't mean to cry. I was trying to... You just gotta breathe, truth seeker. When you're crying, you just gotta breathe. Some men think you're not supposed to cry on camera, and I've... Well, I cried on camera. I can't get it together, truth seeker. I think you heard my point. I'm just trying to say I know it's hard. So for all of you who write me, I'm right there with you, but we're going to persevere together, okay? And I think people like my sister will eventually come around. So we just got to keep on fighting. Until next time, Truth Seeker.